Let's do this. Okay. Back in session in cause number 329652. The case is style of State of Texas versus Eric Celestine. We have Mr. Celestine present in court. Prior to the court going into recess, Mr. Celestine was sworn in. Mr. Celestine entered a plea of guilty to the information as read. And Mr. Celestine acknowledged that his signature and initials on judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney and the waiver. Well, actually, he acknowledged that was his initials and signature on the judge's explanation and rights to defense without an attorney. He also acknowledged that was his signature on the waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea. And then the court when asked whether or not he recognized State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, he stated yes. He acknowledged that those was his initials on page 2 of State's Exhibit 1, and that was his signature on page 3 of State's Exhibit 1. And he also acknowledged that his signature was on trial court certification, defendant's right of appeal, and that he understood that this was a plea bargain case. He has no right of appeal, and he also understood that he waived his right to appeal the case, or gave up his right to appeal the case. Now, Mr. Celestine, prior to signing, well, Mr. Celestine, the documents that I've just mentioned, did you read these documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And then is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Celestine, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State's Exhibit Number 1 is the document that you first acknowledged, which is a misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also the document that have your initials on page 2 that you acknowledged was yours, and your signature on page 3 that you acknowledged was yours. Now, the state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Now, Mr. Celestine, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Celestine, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 90 days, probated over 1 year, a $500 fine, and 40 hours community service.
Mr. Celestine,
Yes, sir.
do we have maybe agency or judge or magistrate one? Okay, Mr. Celestine, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year.
Okay.
During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $307, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $807. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments, that is the amount that you would have to pay each month while you're on probation, is $150 per month. Will you be able to pay the $150?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Celestine, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I accept.
Okay, Mr. Celestine, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Celestine, you're gonna stand on the X in front of our court clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
If you'll put your right thumb in the blue square and hold it. Okay. And if you'll sign that black box right there in front of you, you won't be able to see it. If you'll raise your right hand, I swear that you never before been given deferred adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any other state. And you further swear nothing else is pending. Okay, so the directions to probation are right here on the top. They're about to close for lunch at noon until 1:30. So if you don't make it before, then you need to go report there this afternoon at 1:30. The directions are on the top.
Okay, Mr. Celestine, you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Court is back in session in the court arraignment docket. Next case that we're going to call is cause number 330246. The case is style of State of Texas versus Lakeitha Jackson. Lakeitha Jackson was scheduled to be in court for arraignment today, which is November 2nd of 2021 at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., Lakeitha Jackson's name was called by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Lakeitha Jackson did not answer. The time now is 11:40 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Lakeitha Jackson? Lakeitha Jackson's name was just called again by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Lakeitha Jackson did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Jackson an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court for the arraignment. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would request a bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted, and Lakeitha Jackson's bond in cause number 330246 will be forfeited, and a warrant shall be issued for her arrest. Next case is cause number 330662. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Crystal Angel Nicole Julian. Crystal Julian was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's arraignment docket. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called Crystal Julian's name at the courthouse door. Crystal Julian did not answer. Crystal Julian has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:41 a.m. on today's date of November 2nd of 2021. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Crystal Julian? Crystal Julian. No response. Crystal Julian's name was just called by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Crystal Julian did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Julian an opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court for the arraignment docket. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would request a bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Crystal Julian, and her bond shall be forfeited in cause number 330662. Next case is cause number 330724, case of style of State of Texas versus Deontay Sakor Thompson. Deontay Thompson was scheduled to be in court at 9 a.m. for the court's arraignment docket. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Deontay Thompson, and Deontay Thompson did not answer, and his name was called by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Deontay Thompson has not appeared in court since the court's been in session. The time now is 11:43 a.m. on today's date of November 2nd of 2021. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Deontay Thompson? Deontay Thompson's name was just called again by the court's bailiff at the courthouse door. Deontay Thompson did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Thompson an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would request a bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Deontay Thompson. His bond shall be forfeited in cause number 330724. This will conclude the calling of the arraignment docket, which is scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date of November 2nd of 2021 in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.